Welcome to Title Talk, a podcast for real estate investors where we cover tips, tricks, and trends in the industry.
This podcast is all about providing valuable insights to help you maximize your investment opportunities.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, Title Talk is the place to stay in the know and get inspired.
So grab your headphones, tune in, and let's talk title. Hello, everybody. How are you today? Happy Title Talk Thursday.
I'm making a post on my Instagram right now.
Ooh, for all of you that were curious about if he's actually the man behind the Insta, here's proof.
Yeah.
That sometimes he is.
I don't want to lie.
Sometimes he is.
What? Help me pick a song.
Ooh, a song for our today. We're taking over tingling today.
Yeah, there you go.
Scene. I like it.
That's it.
Yeah, we are in a different studio today. And you just
I
flew
gotta
back
tell you,
from
I just
Canada.
flew to Canada. Yes, I had a phenomenal time with my little girl. It was, you know, what's really fun about teenagers is that you'll see them like at one point and they'll be one person, and then you'll see them 2 weeks later and they'll be a completely different person.
Like different hair color? I remember I
No,
was kind
like
of famous for that.
A completely different human being. Just
Well, my moods would go like this a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I do remember that.
yeah, it was great. We had a phenomenal week. Like she cleaned up without any prompting, cooked me dinner,
Wow. What'd she make?
tacos, gringo tacos.
Cool.
It was truly one of the most special weeks I had with her. It was really it was so nice. And I said to her before I left, I said, I know you're a teenager, and so this is going to be one of the good weeks, but it was one of the good weeks.
Aw,
And this was
good
so
for
fun.
you.
Yeah, it was so fun. We had a great time, and I don't know, I'm excited to go back and meet who she'll be in 3 weeks.
Do you have names for all the personalities?
No.
No, it's not like that.
No. But you know what? She introduced me to a show called Big Mouth. Have you seen the show Big Mouth?
No.
Okay, so
Is it on Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
And anybody who's watching right now, if you are a fan of the show Big Mouth, you know what I'm talking about. It's hilarious. It's a cartoon, and it's all about these young children like her age who are all going through puberty.
Okay.
And they get visited by hormone monsters who make them do
Weird things.
So
Okay.
they're who they are, and then the hormone monster comes and makes them, smash a wall, steal a car, kiss a boy, all the things.
Is
right?
she kissing boys yet?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm not getting into her. I'm not getting into her personal life. But,
Raise your hand if you're a girl dad out there.
yeah.
Dads against daughters dating.
But it's so funny, hilarious, a hilarious show. She introduced me to it, so super fun. But yeah, great week in Canada,
Good.
and
Back
here
today. Welcome
got back
home.
today. Yep, I'll be going back on the 4th of July.
Fun.
Yeah, so I'll be spending another 3 weeks up there with her, and then so many things going on in the summer. What are your summer plans, Dena?
Well, I just got back from Coronado with my mama.
How was that? Happy
It was
birthday, mama.
Cold. It was beautiful.
It's so cold in California.
Yes, I love it. People say June gloom, but I like it. I
Mhm.
like being able to just be on the beach and feel like I'm enjoying the cold weather, because we got off the plane. It was 110. I'm like, okay, welcome back to Arizona.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of that. I'm sure there's another Vegas trip in my future. One or two. So
you, for those who want to know a little bit about Dena, Dena, you love Vegas.
I love Vegas.
How often would you visit Vegas pre-knee injury?
Oh, prior to this situation.
Yeah.
Every other week.
Every other week.
Yeah, usually.
So, and I love Vegas, but the feeling that I get in my stomach when I'm leaving Vegas, do you know that feeling? Do you get it?
No.
The scaries. You know what the scaries are?
No.
You never had the scaries?
No.
Of course she doesn't know what the scaries are.
I don't know what that means.
Joyful Dena would have no idea what the scaries are. The scaries are is when you you feel dread.
Because you got to go home and you were
Well,
having
just
too much
like
fun.
yeah, it's like I think it's like the dopamine crash,
Oh, yeah.
from all of the like ding ling 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 lings and all the sounds and all the maybe the fun and all the thing, and then when you're at the airport, you're finally and then you get that like sense of back to my world, you know?
Well, it's so funny. I don't do Vegas like most people do Vegas. I do Vegas to like disconnect. So sometimes I'll have like no phone zone days or no phone zone weekends. And I can really do that if I'm in Vegas. I can sleep. Blackout curtains are my best friend. I love going to the spa there. I love going shopping. I'm
Okay, so
not
you
like the club and type for
yeah.
Vegas.
So your Vegas is like more R&R.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, there's something there for everyone.
Mhm. And no matter what
That's
time
the
I'm
most
up,
beautiful thing
there's
about
something
Las
to do.
Vegas. Yeah. It's what a great spot. So much is going on right now in the economy.
Well, rates went down today.
How much?
I think I got at least 20 text messages from lenders who I don't know.
Yep.
Telling me about the rate changes.
Well, here's what's funny. So I'm in the middle of a refi right now.
Yes, you are.
And the amount of joy in the space of mortgages and the world it's palpable.
Did you lock?
What do you mean? Did I lock my rate in?
Yeah.
I have not yet. I have not. No, I have not locked. I can't believe I don't know these terms. I'm not a lender. I don't.
Well, it's like where you say this is the one I'm committing to.
No, I have not. I have not put a ring on it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm still
dancing.
I'm still dancing. But what was really cool is finally ended up figuring out the pad split money and how it all worked out. And guys, I can't tell you how impressed I am with how well a pad split will cash flow, even at a 7.5% interest rate with a 7.5% interest rate and 90% occupancy, with the lenders being conservative.
So are you refining into like a DSCR or what kind of product?
It's a DSCR.
Okay.
Yeah. DSCR loan. And I'm getting back all of my down payment. I'm getting back all of my renovation expenses, and I'm getting an additional $20,000 on top of what I put down. So I walk away with $20,000 in hand profit. It's insane.
So are they looking at the value from the appraisal on like the cap rate with the pad split income?
They are using pad split income. Yeah. But it appraised as it would have appraised if it had been a regular fix and flip. So one of the things that I have to say is, if you are going to, dabble into the world of co-living, don't expect your refinance to be based off of just like this crazy amount of income that's coming from the pad split.
Yeah.
They're not going to overvalue your property. There's just no way.
Well, I've heard that they will actually just take your rental income as like a standard traditional long term with a lot of lenders.
So yes and no. Depends on the lender. So this lender's actually using the pad split income. They're not giving you full 100%. I would say it's probably 75% of the pad split income. But at the end of the day, when I looked at what the appraisal values came in at, and I looked at the actual document, they use standard comps.
Yeah.
They just use
regular rental
stuff, and they use regular sales, because at the end of when you are doing a pad split, make sure you're buying the property from a wholesaler. Make sure you're buying something that you can force appreciation on, so that you can pull all of that down payment out, so that you can pull all of that renovation expense out, and potentially pull out a little bit on top, right? I was lucky.
That's amazing.
Because I pulled out all my down payment, I pulled out all of my rehab, and I pulled out $20,000 tax-free because it's a loan.
So did you do hard money when you guys went under a contract for the first time, and then did you pay for the rehab?
Yes.
Okay, so like a 90-10, 80-20.
So it's 20-80 to 80-20.
80-20.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Because there's something to be said for, yes, you are changing the property, and some of the things you might be doing to make it a pad split might be devaluing the property, right?
Yes. It could,
It could.
depending on how you do it. So
Yes.
we're actually doing an event together here
Yes.
on what's the date of that?
The
June
22nd, next Saturday.
June 22nd, next Saturday, for anybody who's in Arizona,
Or maybe you want to come to Arizona.
or if you want to travel to Arizona. If you're a buy and hold investor and you're thinking, I need to figure out how to make money in today's market with today's rates. I've got a little bit of cash, just a little bit of cash, and I want to figure out how to take this little bit of cash. If you want to know how much cash you need, probably anywhere between $50,000 and $75,000. If you have $50,000 to $75,000, you can raise $50,000 to $75,000. You don't have to have it. If you can raise it from a private money lender, if you can raise $50,000 to $75,000, you can get yourself not only into a pad split, you can get that pad split renovated. You can cash flow. You can pull all of your money out and cash flow $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Make $10,000 to $15,000 cash in hand right out the gate.
Amazing.
And get that full $50,000 to $75,000 back, plus an additional 20 grand, plus $2,000 to $3,000 a month in cash flow, and then go do it again. Like now.
That's the idea, right? You're taking that investment and
Correct.
you're reinvesting it into
Correct.
the next one.
Correct. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm building my daughter's nest egg.
Oh, so she's part of the process.
So she's part of the plan. So what I'm going to do is I said, okay, look, my kid, she's probably going to be living as an adult in a world where it's going to be difficult for her to buy a home.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't I help set her up? I'm in real estate. This is my job.
Yeah.
Right. So I want to give her a portfolio of cash flowing pad splits.
Is she going to manage them?
No, they get managed.
Okay.
You have property managers, and pad split does the lease ups for you. So that's fine. But I want to hand that to her as maybe a wedding present,
Wow.
so that she can really make her husband work.
That's better than a dowry.
Oh, wait. No, but it's going to be only in her name. It's going to be in a trust. And so, homeboy won't have any chance at getting his fingers on it. And so she's going to have all the power in that. I want my little girl to be able to walk away anytime she wants.
Or if she's unhappy.
That's what it is. Yep.
Yeah.
So I figured if I take this $75,000
Yep.
and I just keep spinning it over and over and over again, but she's 15 right now. She's going to be 18 in 3 years. For the next 3 years, if I take this $75,000 and I rinse and repeat, how many houses could I give to baby girl by the time she gets married?
I don't know. The way you and Rahima are doing these pad splits, it's going to be dozens.
That's my plan.
Yeah, I think it's dozens.
That's my plan.
So is there some crazy, amazing tax strategy you're also using in the original gift of the 75 grand?
Yes. So here's how it benefits me. Because I
know you're always ahead of the curve.
I get accelerated depreciation on all of these properties. And so it's a massive tax savings for me. So, part of what I get out of this is that every time I do one of these projects, I probably reduce my tax burden by about $50,000 to $60,000.
Every penny counts.
Every penny counts. I had a massive tax bill last year, and I unfortunately at the end of 23 didn't have the time because of my health situation.
Yeah.
I didn't have the time to go and do my normal tax strategies that I would. And so, the amount of money that I had to spend I had to send to the IRS this year was oppressive.
Yeah.
It was really
You
terrible.
can always redo them when you've got the time and you want to.
Well, I can't go back now. I can't retroactively go and buy a car or buy a house or do any of that, But, I licked my wounds. I paid my taxes and on we go. But now at least
more important.
Yeah. Now I know what I need to do. And so I get to save money on taxes. I get to build a portfolio of rental income properties for my kid. And, away we go.
Does she know?
Hell no. No.
Does she watch Title Talk?
She does not watch my YouTube channel. She's way too cool to watch me on YouTube. But no, what the reason why I don't want her to know and why I won't tell her is I don't want her to feel entitled.
Yeah.
I don't want her to
Smart.
feel like she doesn't need to try.
Smart.
And I really, really need her to feel and know that she's got to get out there and make it, and I'm not doing this so that my kid feels like she doesn't need to do anything.
Right.
This is there because this is what dad does.
Yeah.
It's a bonus. She's going to have to figure out how to like live on her own and, find her purpose and do her thing and be a productive member of society and all that. I'm keeping this like
locked and
just
loaded.
like, close to my
your
chest
heart.
so that when the time comes and I do get to give it to her, maybe on wedding day or whatever, it's just like one of those special surprises.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So yes, we've got an event next Saturday.
Next Saturday. Okay, so let's talk about the details of the event.
And let's talk about the details of what you guys have done to this house.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
I
so
walked it. Me and Bobby were like, "You're putting this many bathrooms in here? What?
it's crazy, isn't it?
Crazy."
So what did you see? I haven't seen 54th. by the way.
7.
7 beds, 7 bath.
2 water heaters. There was like plumbing for, I think, multiple washers and dryers.
Multiple washer and dryers. Were they coin operated?
Yes.
Nice. So they're making income off the washer and dryer.
Well, they're making sure they're vested in actually washing their clothes. So it wasn't like a price gouging washer and dryer situation, but it was like, you're not just going to wash to wash because water's expensive. With pad splits, energy is included in their weekly rental.
Correct.
So, you don't want to just have random people just leaving all their stuff in the washer and dryer all the time. It's super smart.
Yeah. That or just washing like,
one thing.
Like, a handful of things. And what's funny? I was while I was in Calgary, they had a water crisis. Their main water feeder burst. And so the entire city is on a water lockdown right now. And so,
oh my gosh, that means what? You can't take a shower?
They have water going to all the properties, but they've only got so much. And so until they repair the pipe, they're like, guys, if we don't all conserve at some point next week, none of us will have water.
Wow.
So the entire city is all working together to
figure it
out. Right. And so you're not washing your clothes. You're like, I had to bring all my laundry back. I didn't do any laundry over there. I brought it all in my stinky suitcase. And then, you're showering very quickly. Very, very quickly.
Like camping style.
Yeah. Or using wet wipes, depending on your level of hygiene.
Wow.
It was just, it's what they're going through. So I get it. I understand how wasteful we can be if we just think that water is, I mean, how many minutes do I leave my shower running for it to get warm?
Oh, well, I don't know. I've been taking cold showers for a long time. So now I'm struggling. I've got to take showers really early to get cold water.
Oh, for real? Because it's so hot.
Yeah. 9 months I've been doing cold showers.
How you like that?
I don't.
But you do it?
But I do it.
Yeah. And do you feel the physiological?
Energetically
Yeah,
different.
It's pretty cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bobby's a cold plunger.
I love cold plunge. They've got a new like cryo lounge at my gym where you can like put your, in my case, my knee in this extra like compression thing, but it's like you're not in the water, but the whole bed gets like really cold. It's pretty fun.
I love that.
Yeah. Cryotherapy.
Well, you showed up with some interesting data today.
I did, but I also showed up with a funny story.
Okay, tell the story.
I just came from our Chandler branch. We were doing an event. We did a Tom Ferry event last week, and so it was kind of like a recap of that.
I love Tom
implementation.
Ferry.
Me too. And you know what he challenged everybody with, which I think you're gonna love, is what are 3 goals you want to set by the end of the year? 3 goals that are, practical, tangible, time bound. So think about that. 3 goals by the end of the year. And then he challenged everybody to pick an accountability partner. So I'll be yours if you want to.
Okay.
On your goals. They could be personal, professional, whatever. But anybody that's out there watching, this is the time to check in on your goals and your life and all the things, right? Because we still have a lot of time left in 2024 to make it amazing.
What have you accomplished from your goals that you had set out in 2020, at the beginning of 2024, that you can say that, hey, or have you gotten close to?
So I had a bit of a setback. So my initial goals had to get like redirected. So for me, this is like, okay, I'm resetting all the things, right? And health has been a priority. So I have to prioritize going to physical therapy on a regular basis, working out my knee because my strength is diminished. Like those are things that I did not plan or have time for. But now it's a priority. I was playing tennis 5 nights a week before I hurt my knee.
Wow.
So like now I'm like, I will play in a tennis tournament before the end of the year.
Heck yeah. Let's go.
I will wear high heels before the end of the year.
Wow.
Gosh.
How hard is that for you not to put high heels on?
I have had to lock myself out of my shoe closet.
Just looking
Like
at them.
I
You don't even
can't
want to see it.
even see them. No, I can't even go in there. Like I'm not walking in there. It's a whole room for me. So I just know I can't see it.
Does your shoe closet feel like a ex-boyfriend you're still in love with?
Oh no, I'm still in love. And it's not an ex-boyfriend. It's just a distant partner.
Oh, it's a long distance relationship.
It's
right
a
now.
long distance relationship.
got
I'm
it.
still so in love. I could
it.
totally do long distance, but
That's
but-
hilarious.
So funny story. Like I literally walked into our Chandler office for this event, and I'm like, why is there an electric bike in a box? That doesn't make sense, right? You walk into an escrow office, like you don't normally see electric.
An e-bike, yeah.
Yeah. And they said, well, we ordered a courier for earnest money, and this is what came. An electric bike?
So they were were they thinking that you guys needed to start picking up your own checks? Is that what it
I
was?
don't know. The courier, I mean, was ordered to go pick up an earnest money check, and I saw exactly
my
how
God.
he ordered it. And what was brought back was an 100-pound electric bike. I'm like, how does that? Like, somebody thinks they don't need to give us earnest money. Like, we'll take bikes instead. I'm not sure.
That's so good.
It was so
So
funny.
the courier messed up.
The courier messed up. So he was called, and he's like, I don't want to come back and get that bike. Like, it was 100 pounds.
And so then what happened?
Well, he had to come pick up the bike. So it
Oh
was
my
gone by the
God.
time my event was over before
Wow.
I came here.
Wow.
And the check was delivered. But we don't take bikes instead of earnest money.
Hilarious. That's so good. I wonder what that buyer, imagine if it was a wholesale buyer who had to race to get their EMD in.
Well, that's what I was like thinking. I'm like, well, there's got to be a story with this bike.
Yeah.
No, the courier just totally messed up. But
Do you have an e-bike?
I do not. I've never rode a bike.
That's another. She's never had a hamburger and you've never ridden a bicycle?
I've never ridden a bicycle. Yeah.
At all.
At all. At
You-
all.
You've
Ever. No, never. My dad said I didn't pedal. I don't have any proof that I tried.
Tina, you've never ridden a bicycle?
Never ridden a bicycle.
Wow. That was, how did you keep this from us for all this time? With knowing that Bobby's the
I know,
professional
he's a professional
bicycler.
BMXer. I mean, I think I would be okay on like a grown-up tricycle. Like once I'm healed, like one of those bikes for 3 wheels, maybe that.
Wow. That is mind-blowing to me that you've never ridden a bicycle.
Yeah.
Wow.
Never ridden a bicycle.
I'm about to buy an e-bike right now because I'm going to Burning Man
Yes, in August.
in August. Yes. I'm super excited about that. It's I have no idea what to expect, but
You got to bring costumes.
so I've been told.
Yeah. And if you need help in the furry department, I definitely have some things I can lend to you.
Well, it's going to be 130 degrees.
no, but it's like the accessories, right? It's all sometimes people wear fur.
You said in the furry department?
Yeah. People wear fur without like
Isn't that
shirts
like a-
underneath.
Yeah.
No, it's
For-
like
I'm curious thinking about his costumes now. Like, what can we put him in?
okay. So a couple of years ago, I went to a beautiful place in Colorado, and everybody had just gotten back from Burning Man, and they did Burning Man on like the top of the mountain. So we went up there with all these Burning Man people, even though we weren't there, and this is what they were wearing. It was crazy. I'll show you the picture.
Okay. I'm
Costumes are a must.
the camp I'm staying in is a 90s hip hop camp.
Oh, that's so you.
So it's perfect for me
It's perfect
because
for you.
and it was like not planned. It was just the people that I'm going with were like, "Oh, we just happen to be in this camp. It's called Street Life. It's a throwback to 90s hip hop." I'm like, "Shut up." They're like, "Yeah, what do you is that what you like?" I'm like, "Kind of."
Kinda.
So I'm excited about that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
So one of the things about Burning Man you got to get used to is everybody shares everything.
Yes. No money.
No money.
It's called radical
Community.
self-reliance. Well, it's radical self-reliance. So you have to be able to take care of yourself, but bring enough to take care of others as well.
Yep.
So, I honestly have no idea what to expect. I'm really
It's gonna be
excited about it,
amazing.
but I think what that's, let's see what happens.
Well, I'll tell you, the people that I've met that have gone to Burning Man, they've all just raved about it. Have any of you guys been?
Anybody been to Burning Man here in the chat?
What should he pack? What should
Oh, I got
Jamil pack?
a whole list of of things to take. Like I need lights, I need a mask, I need
What kind of mask?
COVID masks.
Oh, I got lots
No, I'm
of
just
those I could
joking.
borrow if- I
They're
could
like
let you borrow.
gas masks and like dust masks, and I need an e-bike. I
Dust
need
masks.
yeah. I need to apparently take kilts.
Kilts. Okay.
Yeah.
Kilts.
Yeah.
Okay, kilts. I think. What about music?
There's gonna be music people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
There's
think
all kind of
everybody,
DJs and all sorts of things going on.
everybody I've ever met that's done Burning Man just loves it. They do it every year. Themes are a big deal. I've got a million wigs I would let you borrow.
Wigs?
Wigs.
They're lady wigs.
Well, no, there's all kinds. I mean, you'd own whatever wig you are wearing, I'm sure.
Okay. Wow. All right. Well, how have investor purchases been over the last little while? Because there's a
They've
lot of
been
news.
Interesting. Yeah, there's been a lot of interesting things happening, right? So I think the pad split model is something that we want to continue to educate on because it is, for one, it's solving a problem, right? The
Massive.
people that are, they can't afford housing today. So it definitely helps fix that problem. And also for investors, like the buy and hold and the fix and flippers, they can't pencil a deal right now. And so they're kind of drowning a little bit when it comes to like figuring out what's their next move.
Yep.
And the pad split model absolutely works because these are not just like, I mean, they're kind of lipstick renovations unless you're doing them the way you guys have done, because like Rahima added pipes.
Well,
she added all kinds of.
I think it's a mistake not to go all out, because at the end of the day, what ended up happening on this was, not only am I getting the 20 grand cash
Back.
in hand,
Yeah.
but there's $112,000 in equity in the house.
And that's on the conservative
side that if I sell this property, I'm going to be able to realize that equity and take it home. Right.
Yeah.
So I made more than the 20 grand and the cash flow for in perpetuity. There's still 120,000 in equity in the house. Right. So
and you're improving the neighborhood.
Yes. And I'm providing affordable housing. And so like, to me, it's just like, what are we doing? Like, I don't see how any other model makes right now with 8% interest rates. This is how you make money in real estate.
Absolutely. And I mean, the hardest part about a pad split is finding the right house.
Correct. We actually just today committed on one that Keegley had. And
that's where you got the other one too.
Yeah, great house. So yeah, we've been buying all of our pad splits from Keegley.
Yep.
And I know I'm the owner of it. Rima's one of the other owners of it, but we still do business with our own company so that our acquisitions people can make money.
They're on the hunt for you.
Yeah, they're on the hunt for us, right? So everybody still needs to get paid. So it's all good. But what was really interesting is that if you have a wholesaler that you work with locally, or if there's a Keegley in your market, you should really see where pad split has their concentration of rental properties in your specific market, and start raising private capital to do this model, because $50,000 to $75,000 can get you $2,000 to $3,000 a month in rental income in perpetuity, plus a minimum $50,000 to $100,000 in equity, plus cash back. I mean, I have not done a deal that is going to be this profitable in a long time.
Well, it's like way more profitable than your assignments.
More profitable than an assignment, more profitable than a fix and flip.
Yep.
Because if I was to assign the house that I did the pad split on, I would have made
$5,000.
Maybe 15 to 20, because it was
quick money.
It was a decent deal, right? So 15 to 20,000 would have been my assignment fee. So cool. I would have given that to somebody, and I made 20 grand, and I would have walked away.
So wait, for a wholesaler that's out there and that's what they want to do because they don't want to go down this road, they should send you those deals.
Yeah, send me if they're in Phoenix. I'm only doing pad splits in Phoenix right now, but yeah, absolutely. If you've got a house in a C or a D neighborhood in Phoenix, Arizona, send them my way. There's a few things that you have to keep in mind, right? You need to be close to public transportation.
No HOA.
No HOA. There needs to be no pool. There needs to be
Or enough upside to fill in the pool.
or enough upside to
Yeah.
fill in the pool. There needs to be adequate area for parking. So I need a driveway. I don't want garage would be great so that I can convert it into
Yep.
bedrooms. But I need to be able to put the cars of 7 or 8 people somewhere, without it being
Yes.
a problem. And so backyards are incredible. So the Missouri house has that backyard that we took away half the backyard and turned it into parking. So an alley access was money for us over there. But like, what a cool model. I got paid to do the deal. I get all my money back. I get instant equity, and I get cash flow in perpetuity. And I get to take all this money that I just got refied out on and do it again. And, in the next 3 years, between the age of 15 and 18, which is when I'm going to do this for Charisma, these 3 years, how many houses can I do?
Dozens.
I think I can do dozens like
I
this.
think at least 30.
I hope.
At least 30 in 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she ain't getting all that money. I like her, but not that much. Just kidding. In case she's watching this.
I don't think she's watching
No,
this.
she's not watching
She's
this.
on to that other show you were talking about,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Big mouth.
Yeah, big mouth.
And me and my big mouth. I shouldn't be saying anything right now. But anyways, what are we seeing over here?
The question on the screen. Are there certain appraisers for pad splits? I'm curious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's not certain appraisers for pad splits. There's specific lenders
Yes.
for pad splits. And those lenders work with appraisers who understand how to do. So when you're
Not every lender does this well.
No, so let's walk into the world of appraisals. As
Okay.
you guys know that I'm kind of crazy when it comes to appraising and
Comping.
comping, and I went through the whole appraisal schooling. Like I understand it. And so how they do it, there's 2 approaches when you're appraising a property. There is a sales approach
And income.
and the
approach.
income approach. And so on the sales approach, that's just what's sold, what matches.
Typically within like 2 miles.
Right. Within
I mean, neighborhood would be better.
a mile at most, but like they want to stay in the same sub, right? Income approach, however, is incredible because this is all based on what you could do to the property to increase its cash flow. Now, typically the income approach only works with small multifamily or large multifamily, and it doesn't apply to single family residential. But when you're doing a pad split, you've turned a single family home into a multifamily home.
Yes, you have.
And the income has now become the primary driver of value for the property. And so they will flip it from going sales approach to income approach, which is where you get the real benefit. So there's specific lenders that pad split refers.
Yes.
And actually, if you guys want to learn more about that, get your butts in a plane and come to the event, because the lenders who are actually doing these deals are going to be present at the event that we're doing on the
Amazing.
22nd. So they're going to be there explaining to you how they work, what the qualifications are. You know what they didn't do on me? Take my credit.
I was like, pull your credit or ask for proof of income.
Nothing.
Yeah, they don't do that. They don't
They
need
did
to.
nothing.
Because you've had a successful pad split. So that's the difference.
Right.
Because you have one that's actually operating and
Yep.
they will take that as proof.
Yep. It was incredible. Like I got a mortgage on my property that I own in Los Angeles, and I'm a high income earner. So I do my taxes and I can show tremendous, proof that I can pay the bill. It took them 5.5 months to approve me
For a
mo-
second home?
for a second home because I'm self-employed.
Wow.
And like they went through everything to prove this income, that income, this income. Why is this? Why is that? Why is this? Why is that? Why is this? And all these letters of explanation. It was absolutely insane. When I look at what I had to go through to get this mortgage, it was like getting a hard money loan. It was the easiest process I've ever been through.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cash flow on this, and it's a 30-year loan with no prepayment penalty. So if I do want to
If you wanna
refi,
pay it off
I have no issues. So that's really cool.
That's amazing. So to answer your question about, are there certain appraisers for pad splits? Okay, you can't choose your appraisers anymore. So
Yes.
back in the day, we could choose who we wanted to do the appraisal. And
Right.
in fact, if we didn't like the appraisal, we could just send out another guy. But today you get to choose your lenders, and they are the ones that order it. And they don't necessarily get to select the specific appraiser, but they have a group that they work with, and they know which ones understand this concept.
Here's the thing that I have realized, that yes, lenders aren't allowed to choose who the appraiser is, but they choose who the appraiser is.
So you got to choose your lender. You got to choose your lender.
It's a racket. I didn't think, and apparently it's not legal for them to choose their appraisers.
It's not. It's illegal.
But they choose their appraisers.
Yeah. It's technically it's illegal.
Technically, it's done all the time.
Yeah.
It's okay. So Tammy Sampson said, "Could you do this with a mobile home?" No, you could not. You cannot do it with a mobile home, unfortunately.
Even with an affidavit of a fixture, I feel like this would be a struggle. Like I think you'd be better off building like tiny houses all around there and kind of creating like a little compound.
Yeah. Yep. One of the things that we are doing though is we're purpose building a pad split. So Rahima and I right now are in the process of getting an approval for building a 7-bed, 7-bath new construction property in South Phoenix.
Ground up.
So
did you find the lot to do this on? And so now she's at the city. Okay. This sounds fun.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah.
Really fun. So now we're not actually going to make it 7 bedrooms. It's going to be 5 bedrooms. And the reason why we're not going to do 7 bedrooms is it's going to be 5 bedrooms with 2 dens. So the 2 extra rooms are going to have a window, but no closet.
Okay.
And the reason for no closet is so that it's classified as a den instead of a bedroom. And when we can classify it as a den instead of a bedroom, it actually helps the appraisal. When they appraise,
they're comparing it to like a McMansion.
They can't find find properties that are over 4 or 5 beds. So what the appraisers have said is only have a maximum of 4 or 5 bedrooms, and then all the other bedrooms need to be dens. Put an armoire or some kind of a dresser in there so that people can put their clothes in there.
And you still could have like a door.
Yeah. All of it is fine,
just
other than a closet. No closets. But that helps with the value. It helps with the appraisal. All of it. It's one of the hacks. One of the other hacks that Rima has been doing is no dishwashers.
I think that was brilliant.
Yeah.
We were talking about that when me and Bobby were in the house with her a couple weeks ago. And we were like, that is so smart.
Yeah, because what happens when you're washing dishes or running a dishwasher, it's like you're waiting until the dishwasher gets full and then somebody has to run it, right?
And then somebody has to put them away.
Right. So just recently when I was with Charisma over the last week, I was putting the dishes in the dishwasher, and then she was putting the dishes in the dishwasher, and then we were figuring out who was going to run the dishwasher.
Did you put him in the same way? Like, did everything make sense?
Actually, so what's really interesting is the way that I loaded the dishwasher was not acceptable to her.
I can totally relate to her. I've had that happen to me before.
Her mom has told her that you need to essentially wash the dish before you put the dish in the dishwasher.
My mom told me that too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she completely washes the dish and then she puts the dish.
Mm-hmm.
I put the whole dish in the dishwasher. I mean, I take the chunks off, but I leave the ketchup.
Oh boy.
They
don't get clean enough that way.
Yeah, they do.
No.
But they do.
No, you got to rinse them first. They're not that good.
No, Dena,
dishwashers are not that good. Mom, if you're watching, can you please chime in here?
You don't need to rinse them first. You need to take off the chunks first, but you don't need to scrape off you don't need to wash off the ketchup or the mustard. That can stay because it's in there for 2.5 hours. It's being sprayed.
It'll get stuck.
That's a lie. That was a lie that your mom told you.
I've never tried it.
That's exactly as you've never ridden a bicycle or eaten a hamburger, but I can tell you that dishwashers work functionally with ketchup on them, with ketchup on the plates and mustard on the plates and mayonnaise on the plates. Now, again, don't leave chunks, but truth is that it will actually clean a plate with ketchup on it.
But did you load them facing the same direction as charisma.
Yes.
So there was
we have
no...
our difference right now with respect to chunks of food.
Okay. All right.
No. Sorry, sauce.
Sauce.
She's like, no sauce. I'm like, sauces can stay. Chunks gotta go. Sauces can stay. She's like, no. Mom said sauces need to be washed off. So I'm like, you're washing the dish before you put it in the dishwasher. What's the point of the dishwasher? Why don't you just pick up the sponge now and just give it its final
disinfecting.
give it its final thing, and then so it's not a disinfect washer, it's a dishwasher. Yeah, I think we've opened up a Pandora's box here of
I can't wait to do dishes with you.
Well, again, sauces stay, chunks go. Right? Dishwasher age makes all the difference. Probably
Ooh,
Tammy.
that's probably right.
She's trumped us all right now. But we had an old ass dishwasher in the place that I stay in Canada. I did not rent a bougie place in Canada. In fact, I rented a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment in an old folks home.
So we also talked about on the last title talk about how you can now purchase
In Canada?
Mhm.
I can purchase in Canada.
right
Yeah.
now. Have
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what that looks
yeah.
like.
We also invited Selena to come back.
Oh, is she gonna come back?
Yeah, she's coming back.
Who watched the episode with Selena, the attorney, last time and want to see her come back again? Because she was pretty smart.
Yeah, she was pretty great. So we do have an attorney coming on the next title talk as well.
Amazing.
A local attorney, Sean St. Clair.
Oh my
with
gosh.
Fowler St. Clair is coming on the next episode.
Sean St. Clair is a legend in the world of real estate law.
Yes, he is.
Great friend of Pace, great friend of the entire community. I have personally been benefited from his documents and all of the incredible stuff that he's done. So guys, make sure that you tell a friend and show up for next week's, or sorry, 2 weeks from now, 27th.
Yeah.
The 27th episode of Title Talks. We're going to have Sean St. Clair. You're going to ask him any freaking question you want about real estate law. I'm sure he's gotten his, he's done some research on the regulations and all the different things. He's also a incredible resource for creative finance deals.
Yeah, and he runs the REM podcast. And he runs like a creative podcast nationally.
Wow.
So it should be a great episode, guys.
Creative finance podcast.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, you want to make sure that we ask Sean. Email titletalk@fnf.com, and we can get him prepped for all of your amazing questions. But I thought the episode with Selena was so good.
She was so good.
Yeah, so I'm like, we got to have more lawyers on Title Talk.
I agree. Totally agree. All right, let's walk into these leases because Dena.
So what's the zip code of the one that you're buying
right now?
Ground up.
85008. 85008.
Okay, what about the one that we're doing the event at next week?
That one is in Maryville. I don't know the.
Well, I can tell you the most expensive place to lease.
Before we move on, can I ask this question?
Oh, yeah. Bobby's got questions.
I type the answer and say, I think it's best when it's near a bunch of jobs, but should Pittsburgh be near college or
gosh.
Your guys' situation with being next to GCU, it ended up not being students that rented that.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is not in an HOA. I mean, that is the number one rule. Like, you cannot do a pad split in an HOA. There are governance things in every HOA document that says you cannot rent to like more than 2 people. I think it needs to be close to transportation. Like Jamil said, I think that public transportation is super important. A lot of these folks do not have cars, right? So they're going to need to be next to public transportation or be able to walk. And in Arizona, in the summer, we're not walking anywhere. So unless you're in downtown Tempe, like right by the college and your job is right there, then I think you would totally struggle. I think they could exist anywhere in the valley. Most of the jobs tend to be in the West Valley based on statistics right now, but people are living in the East Valley and they're commuting.
I love that. I wanted to have my pad split across the street from GCU, thinking that I was going to get college students in there, and I don't have college students in there. I have people who service the college in there. So it wasn't to my benefit for it to be across the street from a college, other than it was for the people who service the industries that are there. So they want to be there more long term. It's not like a transient population. It's more of a long term population.
Well, the interesting thing too, you're talking about a room that's rented by the week. So you think, oh, they're just going to move out next week. No, their average stay is 6 to 9 months.
Right.
And
which is the average stay on LTR, long term rental.
Really?
Yeah. 6-month leases, 1-year leases. They're not. I'll Google it right now. What's the average stay on a long-term lease?
I would think right now people are signing 2-year leases. Even though, our rental market has been relatively stabilized, but people have a hard time moving. Moving is no fun.
No, it's not fun.
It's no fun. No fun. No fun.
1 year.
1 year.
11 months to 1 year. So what happens in that last month? Why would they say 11 months? Anyhow.
So they
1
move
year
out because they have the...
Yeah. Something happens.
Yeah.
So the average lease is a year.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So if we're getting close to that year
They're
time,
moving on mentally.
but we're getting, a tremendous amount of money comparatively, it's an absolute winner for us for a strategy.
Do you guys have pad splits operating out there? Has anybody done this yet? I'm totally curious.
I'm curious too. Who out there is a pad split family member? If you guys are, let us know in the chat.
So one of the other things I find
I
fascinating.
want to live in a pad split for a week. Bobby, we should do that.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
And
really want to.
and film it. I think it would be great content. Who wants to see Bobby and I film
do
content in a pad? Yeah, but then it would be too fun. If it was me, you, and Bobby in a
We'd
pad
have so much
split,
fun.
It would just turn into a party house. I want to live in the pad split with the smelly guy.
Okay, so the other thing that's interesting about this model, and I have heard people curious about, like, how do you get rid of somebody that's renting a room by the week? And what Pad Split has done is freaking brilliant, right?
Yeah.
They're a member of a club.
Yeah, so it's a membership. It's not a tenancy, and so they don't have to evict them. They would. They would. They're like, you're kicked out of the club.
Right.
So they kick them out of the club, and then homeboy's got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Bob? Should we go stay in a pad split for a week and see what that looks like?
You want to share a bed?
No. They only it's like one person per room.
So okay.
You can you can only have
one person per room. Yeah.
But how would we do it? It feels like it would be the Blair. Yeah, like the whole house. Like
Move into Missouri.
no, so there's one Rahima just put on Selden. It's totally empty right now. What we should tell her is leave 2 of the rooms open. It's a 7-7 right now. So then you and I will go in for a week.
Once the other 5 are filled. Would be
the other 5 are filled.
What's the dog policy?
No dog.
No dogs.
No dog. So neither you or I could bring our dog. That sucks.
That sucks.
I wish we could bring our dogs. We'd have to put our dogs somewhere out. But we'd go in completely. Like,
I think you got to do this in somebody else's house because you might end up being friends with all these people that are renting your house.
How would I be friends with them? They're coming from the Pad Split website. I'm not going to know who the hell these guys are.
No, but you might just make buddies and never want to leave.
It's possible. I'm not saying that I'm a friendly guy,
Throwing dice in the kitchen.
Yeah, well, like what kind of debauchery would happen in a Pad Split, or would it just be like quiet? Would it just be like,
I don't know.
You know what? Would it be minimalistic? Well, like what would happen to our worlds in a week in a co-living environment? When I go from 5,500 square feet to 250 square feet.
And coin
Living
operated laundry.
Living with 6 other humans,
strangers.
6 other
Strangers.
Who wants to see that?
I do.
You're,
I want to come over because I think
The-
the idea is there's no common space, so people aren't just like hanging out with like other people and bringing people home, right? This is just a place for them to feel safe and dignified and live their lives, right?
Right.
But if you guys do it, it just might be a party.
I mean, I what I really want to do is I'm not there to look at it from the angle or the point of view of it sucking.
No,
Right?
you want to have fun.
I want to go and look at it and be like, okay, like what are the relationships like that I get to
Yes.
meet? Who are the people here? What are their stories? How did they get here? What brought them there? And what's their plan moving forward? Right. And like
Right.
they don't need to know anything about me. They don't need to know.
But like, what if they
Excuse me.
take a picture of you and then they upload it to the internet, and then easily people know who you are,
I mean, that's possible. I'm not going undercover boss here, but
right? But you kind of are. This is undercover boss in a pad split.
bro,
This
we're
is undercover landlord.
We're so
This
doing
is a
this.
good show. This
We're
is a
so
good
doing
show.
this. It's undercover landlord.
Yeah.
Just like quiet, like let's see what's up, how people are, like what's going on here. And I'm gonna, keep my cool and be like,
Until you get to know their story, and then you're gonna want to help them all.
well, that's fine. I love helping people.
Yeah, I know you do.
I think that would be neat. But there's a reality that there's really incredible human beings that have just fallen on hard times. And I am interested in those stories. I'm interested to understand like how do you leverage your situation from being in a weekly rental back to
Right.
getting and like finding out the plan. Like what's the plan? How are we
What's next?
what's next?
What are your goals?
And so I got to have a whole backstory. I need to have a plan myself. Why is the camera guy here? Why are you there?
That's how he makes his money.
I'm just trying to make it by, brother. I'm just trying to. I don't know you.
He's just a cameraman. He's just a guy who with a camera. He's like, well, he's just a photographer
Yeah.
who
that's
just
how
so
he makes
happens
his
to be
money.
hanging out. And I'll be like, man, you gotta, we should record this.
Exactly.
And then you'll be like, no.
Pay me.
He'll say, pay me.
Oh, because you got to pretend you're strangers.
Yeah.
That's the only way this will work. Is if you
Every time.
pretend
Oh my
you're
God. Every
strangers.
time I want Bobby to do something, he's gonna say, pay me. And I'm gonna look at him like, and he'll say, in cash, in front of everyone. He's gonna do some
Undercover
Of course,
pad split.
undercover pad
host.
split. I think that's gonna be
I
hilarious.
love it. I love
Okay,
it.
when are we doing it, Bobs?
Well, it's gotta be
Well,
fall.
I'm not here all
You're
summer,
busy
so-
this summer.
In the fall. Oh man. I do like that though.
I do. I think that would be one heck of a reality show.
Could be.
I mean, you want to talk about getting pad split on the map nationwide about an experience that you have that's positive.
Yeah, I'm not
as a resident.
I'm not there to make
that
it.
would be
I'm not
amazing.
there to make it, and of course there could be some things that go on, like that are not the best. And
Well, there's-
you're not gonna hide that stuff. But I would say I believe that there's probably 80% of the interactions that happen in there are positive, loving, and or just like non confrontational, just like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm just doing my thing, you do your thing kind of deal. And 20% might be awkward, and of the 20% that are awkward, I would say probably 80% of the awkwardness is just like awkward, and then 20% of that is hard.
So do you know, in a pad split, is it like limited to all girls, all boys? Is it co-ed? I've never asked that question.
Oh, it's co-ed for sure.
totally co-ed. Okay.
Totally co-ed, yeah. Which could be interesting. I might find a wife in a pad split.
That would be a different show.
I'm just kidding. I'm not finding a wife in a pad split. That would actually. What if it happened though?
Anything's possible.
I mean, wow. And then at the end of the day, like it's like the show is over and be like, it's okay, baby, you're rich. Let's go. It's just like, what's going on?
That
What's
would be
happening here?
One
Be like,
heck of a show.
yeah, what's happening here? It's like, oh no, we're not. We actually don't live in this pad split. We live in my 5,500 square foot mansion. Let's drive away in my Rolls Royce. No, that's so terrible.
That's so terrible.
It's so
You could do that
terrible.
at Burning Man, not in your own pad
Yeah,
split.
Yeah. Wow. Where do we go with this one? All right. So
Oh boy. All right. Let's talk about title fraud.
yeah,
let's
Oh,
talk
what's
about
happening with title fraud?
things. Yeah, title talk. Let's talk about title fraud. So, imposter syndrome, right? It's a real thing. What is happening on the title side is people are pretending to be somebody they aren't, and they are transferring title into their own names, and then they're selling the property to an innocent buyer with an uninsured deed and hoping nobody finds out.
Tell me what happened. You have a case?
Yeah. I mean, no, this is happening on a regular basis, and we're uncovering them.
Okay,
Because we
so
have like identity verification processes that, our
are
notaries
any
go
getting
through.
through, or are they all getting caught?
No, I mean, we just had a story that got caught.
They got caught.
Got caught.
What happened?
Well, the employee that caught it got a bonus.
And then what happened to the person?
Well, that's up to the, feds.
No arrest?
That's up to the feds. I don't know. We get out of
The feds are
we get out
involved.
of the yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a real thing. So literally what they are doing is they are putting title in their names, or
How do they make sure title's legit? Digix21 wants to know, how do people make sure that title's legit?
I mean,
Great question.
It's a
How
great
do we make
question.
sure?
I think, verifying somebody's ID that you think is gonna buy
If you're
your
buying
house.
direct to seller, if you're not buying
Yeah.
through an, but how does an agent protect themselves from getting a listing from a fake and then listing a fake house
Well,
with
they
a
can
fake
also
seller?
check IDs,
But they don't.
but they could.
They're so excited to get the listing.
No, but they could. I mean, and
But
you
what
gotta ask
agent does
good
that? What agent's gonna
questions.
say when they're like faced with the 3%? Show me your ID. I've never heard of that before.
Well, if you're gonna go meet a stranger, like in an Uber, for example, you've been checked. They've made sure you are who you are.
Okay,
Your
Bobby.
photos in the system.
Bobby, I want to ask you a question. Okay, you're on Bumble, right?
What?
No, you were on
no,
Bumble.
he's taken. He
was on Bumble once
He
upon a
has a
time.
great
He's got a great girlfriend right now. Once upon a time, you were on Bumble. Okay, you met a girl. Did you check her ID? Bro, how do you know she is who she says she is?
I don't know.
Why would you just accept it? See, that's what I'm saying. He had a benefit, right? There was a benefit there. He was like,
You don't
I
do
might-
background checks on the people that you're dating?
no.
You do?
Yes.
Good for you.
You do
Yes.
full background check on the person you
Yes.
date?
I
Not
mean,
crazy at all.
Who does a full background check on the person they date in the chat? Let us know.
I do some basic investigation. Yes,
Basic-
I do.
Okay, so what is a yes and what's a no? Like, what's the threshold for criminality for you?
I mean, you lie about your name. That's a big one.
Okay, you
Yeah.
lie about. What if it's just like I use
You lie
it,
about your name and you go to pay a bill and I look at your credit card. If it doesn't match, that's a problem.
but what if I'm like I don't like my name and I want to use a different name? Like I'm okay. I'm the kind of guy. My mom taught me if somebody doesn't want to say your name, you don't want to know who they are.
Oh.
And so she always said, don't accept people calling you nicknames. They say your name or they're not your friend.
Because the number one
Yeah.
thing you want to be called by is your name.
My name, right?
Yeah.
And so I never allowed people to call me a nickname. And if they did, I just was like, I'm not answering you. But I know lots of people who have completely different names than their government names.
Okay.
And they're not creeps or they're not.
But I would just ask them to tell me the story about why.
Okay. So then.
No, this is where you just have to ask good questions.
Okay.
There's some ladies in the chat that do the background check.
They do background checks.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I mean, it's a safety thing too,
Yeah,
right?
women,
Like, I'm not
Uh,
letting somebody come
Bobby's
over
saying
and-
it's a woman thing.
yeah. Makes sense.
I'm
I
not
would
letting.
too.
Yeah, I just there's so many.
I was so deep in the
Things.
Just kidding.
Oh,
They can't hear you, can they? Did you guys hear
Bobby
Bobby?
is getting crazy over here. I mean, it is his birthday episode, so it's okay. But yeah, I mean, you have to do your basic research. I mean, I
Yeah.
also do the thing about there's always somebody I know that's in common. and I will ask them what they think before I'll ever
Oh,
meet
yeah.
them in person.
Oh yeah,
right.
that means that you're dating somebody within 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon,
Well, I'm just dating somebody or about to go on a date with
or somebody
somebody
that knows someone.
that knows somebody.
Yeah.
Because
So like, tell me about this dude. What's he like?
exactly,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
always do my homework ahead
Yeah.
of time before meeting somebody.
I
I'm
100%
not wasting
respect
my
that.
time.
I 100% respect that. I would do the exact same thing if I was in that circumstance or situation, but I'm not in that circumstance or
No, you're
situation
not.
because I'm just not doing that kind of thing right now because I'm only dating real estate.
And technically, right now you're dating alone because you haven't locked in your interest rate on the
True.
pad split.
True. Wow, we went through an hour like this. Holy crap.
All kinds of reports and things to talk
Guys,
about
we
that
had
are like
so much to
we're
say
talking
today.
about.
We had so
Yeah.
so much to say today that didn't get said.
Well, there's always next time, but we're gonna have Sean on next time.
Love you, Dena.
Love you too.
You guys enjoy today's title talk. Do us a favor, like this video. Also leave us a comment, and we'll see you next.
Share with a friend.
Share it with a friend. Yeah, we'll see you in a couple weeks.